Let's go. Let's go, guys. What up? What up? What up? It is time. It is crypto time. I know how it's been feeling recently in markets. The markets are screwed. And look at today. My goodness gracious. S&P 500 is pumping. All this positive data came in this week. Oh, was Bitcoin pump? Hell no, son. Bitcoin's down. Of course it is. Is it time, guys? Time to sell everything to BlackRock? Get out of here? No, of course not. Look, the reality of the markets is that this has been a very trying year for the cryptocurrency markets. After our early cycle peak, man, we all got a little too excited, didn't we? Well, Larky here went balls to the wall, man. Risk more, bet more. Oh, that didn't pay off very well. Anyway, onwards we move. The truth of the matter is that the crypto markets have been lagging behind equity markets for a while now. It's not going to last forever. We are nearing our post-Bitcoin halving moment where markets will start to catch up. It might be weeks more. It might be a few months more. And unless we get some grandiose new Great Depression happening in America, we're probably going to see crypto markets catch up in a pretty spectacular fashion, as they have always tended to do. Okay? It's weird on my timeline right now because I go and I see that half the people on my timeline are basically new Great Depression, it's all over, sell now, run away, end of markets. The other half of people, normal market correction, things are going to be okay. That was the capitulation event. Bada bing, bada boom. Big things going to happen. Q4, Q1, still looking for great, spectacular in the market. I'm in that camp. I'm in the camp that we still have our best days in this market cycle ahead of us, but there's definitely a lot of fear in the markets. But then a lot of that fear tends to be, well, not that crazy. Let's get into the numbers, guys. Let's go. Come on. Let's do it, old Arco. Check this out. So the jobless claims reports this week showed less continuing claims and better than feared strength in the labor market ever since non-farm payroll numbers spooked the market, mainly related to weather. Now, that was back to the SAM rule. Remember, we're talking about the SAM rule thing with even the SAM rule creator. She came out and said, yeah, I know it's just signaled. However, there are some big distortions due to hurricanes and stuff that prevented the way that the things are being counted for the markets, right? Okay. Anyway, job reports coming in this week. Good. Less unemployment claims. It's great. That's great. Good. Labor markets have remained strong. The PPI is down this week. That's the cost that producers pay for wholesale stuff, right? The consumer inflation is down this week. Markets are loving it. I mean, look at this. The S&P 500 is now 2% away from hitting, well, hopefully not a double top, but potentially cracking into new all-time highs. That's a wild correction. Reclaim the key moving averages, price moving up. Great. Mr. Harry Lasagna says the top isn't in when everyone is saying sell. It's when every actor on TV is talking about crypto, not Bitcoin again. That's right. Watch for Jimmy Kimmel to buy another multi-$100,000 NFT. Here's another one. Again, it's so much conflicting information right now. The yield curve's going to uninvert, man, which is worth paying attention to because of its incredibly high accuracy in calling this shit out. But then you have this. Retail sales in for the month of July, 1% up. The estimate was 0.4%, so massively overblew the numbers in a good way. U.S. core retail sales, 0.4%, estimated 0.1%, way bigger than expected. The U.S. consumer remains strong. The U.S. economy, despite all the crazy in the world, keeps trucking along, man. They keep not having a giant mega recession. It's crazy. Increases the chance of a soft landing, as Coin Mamba says right here. Consumer spending still showing no sign of stopping. July retail sales accelerated 1% on the month. This is a great thread talking about some of Michael Burry's plays in the market here, but it's pretty crazy to think that, look at this, we just keep grinding up, man. So much higher than pre-COVID. Think about that. But then you have people like this. Leon Cooper, man, thinks the U.S. is heading toward a financial crisis. Okay, man. However, he also was bearish back at the lows of October 2023. Said he remains a bear with little interest in the broader stock market, partly because it's underestimating the risk of fiscal crisis. This is back in October. Him being out of the market between now and back then, he's missed out on a huge amount of gains. I guess he's a billionaire, so he doesn't really care. But this is the thing. What's how the saying go? It's something like economists have called 8 of the last 5 recessions or something like that. There's a saying like that. It's quite funny. There's always a lot of doomers out there. Question is, are they going to be right? At some point they will be. At some point there will be a recession. But the way the U.S. economy keeps trucking along right now, it doesn't appear to be coming super soon. Things can always change very quickly. Markets do remain a bit fragile. Sentiment remains a bit fragile in the markets. But at some point, Bitcoin will catch up with all this craziness. Alistair here pointing out Bitcoin detached from his NASDAQ correlation yesterday. Come on. Why do we only correlate when we're going down, man? Come on. Anyway, this was around, of course, the time that the U.S. government moved the 10,000 Bitcoin over to Coinbase to sell. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, what if, the current administration tries to speed run, sell all that Bitcoin just to get it out of the U.S. government's hands so that, Trump can't come in and claim this kind of victory if he ends up winning and blah, blah, blah. Look, the history of the U.S. selling their Bitcoin, they tend to sell it in small amounts. They don't send giant, 10,000 Bitcoin's a lot, but they'll sell 10,000 Bitcoin this quarter and then not sell any again for 3 or 4 months. It's kind of how they've been doing it. And again, I really feel like it continues to be worth pointing out that the majority of the U.S.'s Bitcoin is Bitfinex's Bitcoin, which could be through going through litigation for years, and either the government confiscates it because, YOLO, screw you guys, lols, that's our Bitcoin now, or they return to Bitfinex, which also has unintended consequences, but probably going to take a while to figure out any of that stuff anyway. So it's interesting. Cold-blooded Schiller saying, I don't know, boys, but all I'm saying is I'm pretty sure last time stocks ripped upwards, we didn't do anything. In a blink of an eye, we caught up very, very quickly. Doesn't take a long time. Doesn't take a long time, guys. So I know how it's been recently. Where's that? It's crazy to watch the stocks doing so well, and yet you look at this and go, man, crypto's just screwed. Why is this happening? It won't be like this forever, okay? I know how the sentiment's been. I read the posts. I see the comments in the comment section right now. I see you guys over here, by the way. I see what you're saying. I understand, okay? I understand. But if the boomer markets continue to have risk-on attitudes, at some point, crypto is bound to catch up. It's been a wild year for us. We had all this mega selling from Mt. Gox and Germany and on and on and on. Whereas equity markets haven't had those problems, obviously. We've had very crypto-specific problems this year, which have had crypto-specific results. Let's take a look at the ETF flows. Because I know what you're thinking. This is all too much for me, Lark. I'm just going to sell my Bitcoin to BlackRock and walk away. Now, BlackRock has been pretty steadily accumulating. This is the Bitcoin ETF flows. We see there has been more outflow days recently with all the sort of dysfunction in the markets. But overall, we are still up to $17.338 billion of total inflows for the year. Huge amounts of money. Huge amounts of money. Some smaller inflow days this week. Still money flowing out of Grayscale even after all this time. Look at all these Grayscale outflow numbers. But the positive thing is every Grayscale outflow day is a positive day for the cryptocurrency markets. Even Ethereum ETFs finally getting a little bit of play here, man. Not a lot. ETH ETFs have definitely not had the same kind of impact that Bitcoin ETFs had. And part of this is because damn, SEC had to delay it by a month and a half, didn't they? But we eventually got it. They're out. They're doing their thing, but it's been slow catching on. I feel like Wall Street has not piled in yet. They're waiting for, the whatever to play out in the market before they do that. Huge amounts of Bitcoin still exiting from grayscale. We did have 2 positive days this week on the 13th and the 14th. Okay, the 12th to $5 million in, so it's not bad, right? But overall, BlackRock has been buying, but not massively yet. But that is going to change in the future. D. Thor says, don't listen to this guy. He sold most of his crypto to pay back his loans. D. Thor, don't listen to yourself, man. I did not sell most of my crypto. I sold a percentage of my crypto, right? And that was to avoid getting liquidated, my dude. So, I hope you never have to make that hard decision. And I share that with you guys here, right? We share our victories. We share the hard times too, okay? As I said previously, I got too greedy. I took on too much risk. And in order to pay down those loans, in order to not get liquidated and lose a much larger percentage of my total portfolio, I had to make some tough calls. It sucks, but it is what it is. We move on. The portfolio survives to fight another day, which is critical in these markets. Okay, I know some of you guys would have preferred, you know what, Lark, you should have just blown up your entire portfolio and taken a much bigger loss. Okay. Poke says, nah, you freaked out big time. I was definitely concerned that I was not going to be able to take care of the loans in time, right? Because, of course, on the days when those things happen, and so many things in so many places, right? But on the day when that kind of stuff happens, nothing works, right? Gas fees on Ethereum soar to $500, $600, $700, that kind of stuff. MakerDAO's barely working. You got to refresh the website 10 damn times. And to an extent, it's PTSD from the COVID crash when I saw prices move a lot faster than you can have even rationality to think, right? Prices on those kind of situations can go really, really fast, really negatively, right? So that was my paranoia. I had taken too much risk and I needed to unwind it. Tough decision. I know. And you guys can feel free to criticize me for years for having to take a position where I had to take down a certain percentage of my portfolio in order to protect a much larger percentage of my portfolio. Again, what would you have done in that situation? And I hope you don't get yourself into that situation, right? Anyway, there we go. Let's continue. So let's do a big shout out to today's sponsor, which is iTrust. So if you want a tax efficient way of doing the crypto game, then you might want to check out iTrust. Basically, what you can do, you can bring over your existing IRA, you can start a new one if you want to, and you can go over here and do as many crypto trades as you want, tax-free. That's right. Wrapping it within your retirement program can allow you to have massive tax efficiency. And they got all the hot coins. They got your Dogecoin, your Solana, your Ethereum, your Bitcoin, whatever you want to be trading over here. 365, 24/7. Of course, unlike ETF markets, which are also only Bitcoin and Ethereum for most people out there in the world. Low costs, no monthly fees, the biggest IRA provider by total assets, total users, all that kind of stuff. And you can even do in-kind withdrawals in the future. If you want to take that Bitcoin and put it in your hard wallet, or even get physical gold and silver via the partnership with Kitco. If you want to learn more about what iTrust is doing and get yourself a $100 bonus on sign up, check out the link down below in the description. Thanks again to iTrust for sponsoring today's stream. So the price of Bitcoin, $58,000 currently. Look at this. Yesterday's price action closed us under the 200-day exponential moving average, man. Back under the bear line, the bull bear line, of course, bullish above the 200-day EMA blue line on the chart here. Bearish under, currently under. Come on, man. Come on, Bitcoin. When's it going to happen, man? MACD still trending down, but definitely tightening up quite a bit. We could easily see with a very little bit of positive price action, the MACD turning bullish again very quickly. All of the major moving averages are getting very tight together. We want to see those start expanding out again on some kind of an uptrend here for the market. Retake the 200-day EMA and retake the 50 and the 100, and then we could be off to the races, at least to test 72K again. Up here, the line in the sand to beat. I mean, how frustrating is it going to be that the S&P 500 could finish the week on a new high, potentially, or hit a new all-time high next week? And Bitcoin, man, Bitcoin, what are you doing, man? Come on. Anyway, it'll catch up. It's only a matter of time. Your patience is being tested. I know what you're thinking. Lark, I've been tested all year, man. Anyway, the accumulation trends. I'll go ahead and take myself off the screen so you guys can see this whole thing. This is interesting. The accumulation trend score favoring larger cohorts has reached 1, indicating strong accumulation by major whales. This pattern last observed during the rally to the all-time high suggests that Bitcoin could surge again due to this buying frenzy. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Look at that. Huge amounts of accumulation has happened over the last few weeks. Worth paying attention to, right? Worth paying attention to. Pretty cool chart, that one. Here's, oh, I better take myself off the screen again so you can see this. CryptoCon sharing. Same cycle, same year, different skin. Bitcoin Blue Year has had the same structure every time. 2 significant highs, 2 sideways periods. This cycle, we traded a shorter, more powerful move from January to March, high for a longer correction afterward. No cycle has ever been able to achieve all-time highs in a blue year like our current one has, which is why the correction has taken so long. All highs you see here have taken about a month to find their bottom. Well, we're going on for 5 months now. Now, the good news, every second early top has bottomed around August. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? From which our latest August drop looks like a likely culprit. The month that the price makes new highs after that has been pushed forward each year. New highs in September inbound. Maybe. Be very interesting if so. Only a matter of time, especially the gold markets leading as they have been. Equity markets doing good. Positive economic data. Rate cuts coming. It's great to see it despite regular differences. The halving cycle theory and a top in late 2025 look like it may have never derailed. It's weird to think that at this point, to an extent, the almost contrarian thought is that we're just going to have a regular 4-year cycle. As crazy as that may seem right now. Anyway, very interesting chart right here. If that chart rhymes, then potentially we get that rally to 72K and beyond sometime in September or sometime in October. Very interesting. Also, guys, keep this in mind. Where are we actually at within the cycle? Bitcoin historical price action post-halving suggests a strong upward trend sometime in the future. According to crypto data provider Econometrics, we're looking at a high likelihood of a 6-figure value for 1 BTC if returns to its post-halving range before the year end. Look at previous cycles. This all starts here, day 0 of a new halving cycle, right? Sometimes just goes crazy, right? Sometimes it takes a little longer to grind itself out. But look where we are relative to previous cycles, right? We're just getting started. We're just getting started. Price of Ethereum, not doing too much. Nothing of note to say here, except that we need to still pass over $2,700 before we can really start getting too excited about it. Still way away from the key moving averages. They're all trending down right now. We want to see that flip around real fast. Not looking fantastic for Ethereum at the moment, with all the major moving averages trending in the wrong direction. 50-day having flipped both the 100 and the 200 for bearish crosses. Come on, ETH. Get drunk. Go home. Sleep it off, buddy. Mike Ippolito saying lots of people are wondering why this cycle feels different. Some think it's because there hasn't been 0-to-1 innovation like DeFi. The truth is much simpler. New users simply aren't coming into the space right now. But I'm very confident that will change soon. But that's why it's currently stagnant. Price. The biggest time, I know we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but the biggest time this year in terms of excitement, February, March, price pumping. You want to see people come back into the space again? The price needs to go up. It's just that simple. I like this, by the way. We will have deserved it, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's true. It's true. I think this guy talks about dog with hat and stuff like that. But anyway, it's true. Regardless of the sentiment, what asset you're talking about, this game has been hard this year. It has been. It has been, without a doubt, a very tough year for the markets, with so much enthusiasm and so much expectation, so much letdown, so much challenge. But we will be rewarded. We will be rewarded, okay? The big rewards will still come for this market. Hey, by the way, shout out to the guys over at Near Protocol rolling out Nightshade 2.0. So with this, it's become a fully sharded chain with data and execution sharding, aka everything that Ethereum was supposed to be at a layer 1 level. We got layer 2s on Ethereum, so that's cool. I like Base. I like Linea. I like ZK Sync. But it was supposed to all happen at layer 1, wasn't it? Other chains have done it. Ethereum, come on. Arbitrum. Hey, big news for Arbitrum. I know. I sold my Arbitrum bags ages ago. One of the best decisions I ever made with my Arbitrum bags, to be honest. But if you are still holding on to the hope with your Arbitrum bags, here's some good news for you. Arbitrum is 24 hours away from passing a proposal that could make Arbitrum the first ETH layer 2 with staking for its native token. Finally, a use case for Arbitrum, because it's basically useless as a governance token. I mean, yeah, I know you can govern the chain, but is that really what you want to do with the free time? Come on, man. Go do literally anything else. So that's one. Two is that it's been basically not used at all in DeFi. Very little. There's some use cases for it, but certainly nothing like Ethereum or USDC or any other major tokens. Just hasn't really been getting a lot of use in Arbitrum-based DeFi. But staking could be a game changer for Arbitrum to an extent. People can lock up their Arbitrum, which takes supply out of the market, but then they get staking rewards, which they can dump into the market, which nobody wants to buy, except to buy more to stake to get more useless governance tokens. But hey, it's news anyway. So there you go. Aerodrome, shout out to my Aerodrome bags. Of course, if you ever want to see what I hold, link down below in the description. You'll find my portfolio disclosures, what coins I own, what venture investments I have, all that kind of stuff. Plus, you'll find a risk statement there because investing in crypto is risky. You can lose all your money. Okay? Never forget. No, really, never forget. It creeps up on you fast sometimes. Anyway, for the second consecutive day, Dex Screener reports that the Aerodrome Slipstream wrapped Ethereum USDC pool leads in volume across all chains, with 16.8 million in liquidity, by the way. The base ecosystems keep climbing, and Aerodrome is the hub for that to happen. My Aerodrome bags, let's go. 50% of all layer 2 active addresses are on base, the fastest growing layer 2 ever. It's crazy, crazy numbers right here. You can see this. This is very, very interesting. Base is 50% of the layer 2 activity right now on Ethereum. Arbitrum's 17.5%. Linea, shout out to Linea, 9%, doing good. Strong third place. You know, they're the ones. Linea's built by consensus. They're the guys who built MetaMask. They're a major Ethereum development studio. So worth paying attention to, right? ZK Sync. Yeah, all right, rock and roll, 5%. Optimism, man, they've been out since as long as Arbitrum. They just have never caught that market share, have they? And it's interesting, I know, because the tech stack, like Base, is built on the Optimism tech stack, but it doesn't really, anyway, whatever. Scroll, Dark Horse Scroll there. I hope I got a nice airdrop from that. I have not been farming it recently, though. I've kind of lost interest, to be honest, but I hope I did enough in the early days to keep something for an airdrop. Anyway, Mantle 3.3%. It's kind of surprising, you know, considering the backing from Bybit and all that stuff. But layer 2 spaces, super competitive right now. Tyco, shout out to Tyco. 1.4% currently. Super early still for Tyco. Really, really one of the new ones out there. And Blast, I mean, Blast has got to be one of the most disappointing layer 2s so far. And look, I'm not trying to throw Blast under the bus. I know they have very high total value locked and stuff like that. But when you look at the number of active addresses, 1.28%, considering all the hype that was around this when it came in. That's crazy. That's crazy. Literally, Base is doing 40 times the amount of transactions, the number of daily active addresses compared to Blast, with all the excitement that was around that when it launched and came out, and crazy. Anyway, hey, real quick, guys, if you're a cryptocurrency trader, check out Bybit. Best place to be trading, best place to be doing your crypto stuff. Great spot markets, very vibrant futures markets as well. You can get, when using the link down below in the description and making $100 or more deposit, you can get a $500 free trade that can be in USD, Bitcoin, or in Ethereum, Pepe, a few other coins as well. Plus, you'll get some spins for their raffle that they got going on right now for funded trading accounts, F1 tickets, stuff like that. So check it out. Link down below in the description if of course, you are a trader. Now, let's open up the floor for some questions. Of course, people, what the heck is Base? What crypto is that? Base is Coinbase's layer 2 network. Okay, so there's no actual crypto coin backing it right now. You've just got things you can do on there. You can use Aerodrome Finance. You can buy meme coins like Benji or Miggles or Brett, right? You can play around with AI protocols that are launching on there and stuff like that. But it's a layer 2 run by Coinbase. So there's no token for it yet, but it's a layer 2 network you can use, much like Arbitrum or something like that. And that's a layer 2 network, which is built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. That being said, let's hydrate. Cheers. That's hit spot. Wilk215, I am tired of crypto, man. I cannot wait to take my profits and ditch this stressful shit. I know how you feel. I think a lot of people are feeling pretty much the same. If my timeline is anything to go by, it has been a tough year for the crypto markets, without a doubt. 2022 sucked. 2023 was kind of okay sometimes. 2024 was like, wow, super exciting. We're back. We're so back. And then it's so freaking over again. And it's been rough since then. But my guess is that the next 6 to 18 months have some big surprises in store for the cryptocurrency markets, assuming we don't get into a Great Depression. Obviously, caveat to that. But yeah, look, one thing that I've been talking to myself about recently is when we do see that happen and there's some opportunity to take some nice profits, not, to when that time comes to take good profits, to get more money out of the market. And look, I'm a big believer in crypto, guys, but take more money out of the market, put more money in cash, more money in property, more money in stocks, more money in gold. Still keeping nice crypto allocation. Like I said, by the end of this bull market, I know it does not feel like a bull market right now. It's been tough. I get it. But when we see the end of the cycle, my personal plan, no altcoin holdings, nothing, just Bitcoin. That's it. That's what I'll hold through the bear market. Everything else, see you later. And I'll rebuy. I'm not giving up on crypto by any means, not becoming a Bitcoin maxi. But when I think that the cycle's advanced enough, I'm going to start taking all the money out of the altcoins, all of them. And actually, if we get a nice Q4 run, I'm probably going to take some pretty hefty haircuts on some of my positions, just out of general paranoia of potential U.S. recession stuff. We can reevaluate, of course, closer to the time, but just to create more of a cash buffer in case I'm wrong, right? But I feel you, man. I feel you. Crypto's crazy, and it's definitely good to have that plan when the time comes, how to take this higher risk money and then transition that into lower risk investments that are going to keep you safe and your family safe for any sort of economic turmoil that could come. Hey, Lark, I'm 22 and risk on. I just got my car insurance, $17,000. Instead of buying another car, I bought, nice. And instead of buying another car, I bought $10,000 of Arrow plus $7,000 of base die. Would you have done the same or spent the money in a car? Have no kids, still have a job, portfolio 22K. Well, not financial advice, obviously, first and foremost. I'm pretty bullish on Aerodrome personally. I think it's going to do really well. I've got a pretty big position in it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where you live. I don't know how useful a car is for your life. If you live downtown New York, then a car is probably more of a hassle than a tool to have, right? You can just take the metro to work, the subway in America, and take a subway to work. If you live out in the countryside and you got to start hitchhiking to work every day, maybe the car is not such a bad idea. Or buy just a really cheap car, if you need it. But if you don't need a car and your car is just kind of sitting there not really doing anything anyway and just costing you money and hassle and all that stuff, then YOLO and that money on some risky altcoins, I guess. Look, you're young enough that if the market turns against you and all this goes to zero in the next year, you'll be fine, right? But it's enough an adjusted risk that if we think the best days of the market cycle are still ahead of us, which I hope that they are, I believe that they are, then okay. Could be a bet that pays off, and you buy a car later. It's interesting dilemma. Don't know what I have done personally. Probably bought a cheaper car. Put the rest back into crypto. All of the money is gone, Lark. Don't bet on meme coins, guys. Man, meme coins, really, I know I keep saying it, but you got to manage risk on those things. Like we've got a meme coin guide coming out really soon. We'll share it with you guys when it's live. But yeah, long story short here with meme coins, and I'm sorry to hear about your loss. That sucks. It just, we were talking yesterday that pump.fun, it's not the trenches. It's not a battleground. It's a slaughterhouse, man. It's a slaughterhouse. Okay. Basically, everybody loses all their money there almost instantaneously. So there's that to consider. Okay. But if you are going to play the meme coin game, you can play it more conservatively. You can bet on, let's not use the word bet. You can speculate on memes that maybe have a little more of an establishment behind them, have got a little bit of movement, right? And how much do you need to get? I mean, I know everyone's put in $20 to make 10 million, but it just doesn't usually work like that, right? You're probably going to lose your money every single time versus something you can put $1,000 on and get 10 or 20x returns potentially throughout the cycle, right? So think about that. I know I shared the analogy of my grandma gambling the other day. Hi, Grandma, by the way. Love you. But she would always tell me about her wins. But she never told me how much it cost to make those wins, how much she would lose. Because she did lose a lot. The house always wins at the casino at the end of the day. Let me see. The doctor says, I'm so glad I sold for modest profits in April, but I'm still holding bags for later in the cycle. And that's something I shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But I was doubling down, betting more, right? Had varied results. But one thing that's very good and worth keeping in mind, and when I say when we get up to the next leg in the market, whenever that may be, I'm taking some money off the table. It doesn't mean I'm selling 100% of the coins at that point, but I'll definitely take more than I was probably planning off the table, because I was planning on basically taking very little to nothing off the table. I think now I'll probably take, I don't know, a third to a half my altcoin portfolio and just say, you know what, enough's enough. We're good. Take some cash, put it aside. Okay, you can always re-enter later. You can always find new opportunities, blah, 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 blah. For peace of mind, in case I'm wrong on whatever could play out in 2025, I'll sleep better at night with that and still keep exposure, right? Hoping, of course, that we're going to get that pi cycle top indicator coming in, and that will give us then that signal to GTFO. Get everything out of the markets and run away. That'll be for the rest of it. I'll keep you guys updated as we get closer to those times, okay? Is Dogecoin still just a meme coin? Of course it is. Of course it's still just a meme coin. What else do you think it is? Literally does nothing else besides having a dog picture. Is $1 still realistic this cycle? I don't think that much about price targets for Dogecoin, to be honest, but that would be a slightly new high for it. Wouldn't even be that crazy of a new high for it. Depends on how much money comes in this cycle. If we end up, as we were talking about the other day, potentially getting up to those upper bound predictions of a $4 or $6 or even $9 trillion market cap this cycle, as the Fibonacci extensions suggest is possible. Ancient Fibonacci theorists suggest it's aliens. Then maybe, okay, maybe we could see Doge going over $1. But I think Doge's mind share in the crypto space has been diluted by so many new players coming in that have more upside potential. You gotta ask yourself, why would you buy Dogecoin today when you could buy Dog with Hat or Nairo or something like that? A lot more upside. Higher risk, obviously, but Dogecoin's a relatively high risk coin too. Dogecoin's not going anywhere, but it might underperform, versus some of these other ones. You thinking Brett has more fuel in the tank? I personally think so, yes. I think Brett's got a lot more fuel in the tank, especially as we see the broader sort of base reality continue to again. Look at the we've been covering so many metrics on base recently, and it's just an on fire ecosystem. And Brett's the biggest meme coin over there. Now I also have two much higher speculation meme plays, which are Benji and Miggles. So we'll see how those play out. The dog and the cat of base. So we'll see. We'll see. But Brett, I think, has some great potential still. 10 billion, 20 billion market cap peak price, right? You're not going to get the kind of big gains out of it. But if you're looking for something that could, not financial advice, let's just say could, throw an odd number here, could return like a 10x this cycle, then there you go. That's a meme that could do that. Greetings from Tokyo. It's a crazy city, man. I've been there. Crazy city. Love it. Want to go back. Want to take kids and wife there someday. Thanks for all the great information. I have a small position, Avalanche. What do you think about AVAX now? I am still very bullish on AVAX. I've got a big AVAX bag. I think it's going to go to a few $100s per coin this cycle if we get the cycle going as strongly as we think it could. If there's not some new great recession, all that BS kind of stuff coming. Bullish on AVAX. I feel like they're doing all the right stuff, and I know they haven't got the level of hype that like Solana has, but Avalanche is definitely cooking, man. They've got so much stuff they've been working on, and if like off the grid really takes off in a big way, I mean, that's going to bring millions of people potentially on chain through AVAX. Lark, is Miggles really getting mentioned by Coinbase? Gotta remember, Miggles is not officially was it connected with Coinbase, right? I think it was a former Coinbase employee who started Miggles, the coin, and Coinbase has been talking about this ugly cat Miggles. You know, they did like NFTs and stuff like that for it, and I don't know how much more they're going to talk about it, but that's where it kind of came from. Now, does that mean it has any future? I have no idea. Miggles could go to zero, right? That's what I always think about when I enter any meme coin position. It could go to zero in a very quick amount of time. Hopefully not, but it can. But it can. What's it going to take to move crypto and the minds of retail from a crazy casino vibe to legit use cases? There are so many cool legit use cases that are out there all the time. This is the thing. And you may not see it all the time. But again, we were talking about this the other day. Like Tron is a wildly popular blockchain, which I never use, but it's wildly popular because people in places like Argentina use it to send USDT back and forth to each other to pay for stuff. That's a real use case. Something like Helium or Natix, these deep in projects, real life stuff that you can earn money driving around, like with Natix, for example, an investor, by the way. But you can put your mobile phone on your dashboard, drive around, earn coins, make money. Cool, right? Lots of stuff like this. So there's lots and lots of real world use cases every single day for crypto. It's just that, man, the reality is people love gambling. And something like Pump.Fun is literally nothing more than a really, 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 really bad casino. One where a house wins 99.99% of the time. Who would want to go to that casino? Apparently a lot of people. We have apps that have broken into the mainstream. Poly market has become a massive application. And other things will continue to as well. Games are going to come up, all this kind of stuff. So it's sometimes two steps forward, one step back in crypto, but we're definitely continuing on the path towards mainstream adoption. Every single day you're seeing it more and more. Beyond just investing and YOLOing money in, it's becoming a more integral part of the financial layer of the internet. What's your first target to sell Bitcoin at? Let's say using that as a metric to sell altcoins. I I don't think I would be selling any more Bitcoin this cycle personally, but I'll look to accumulate more next bear market. That being said, I think the first big target is 100K. That's when I'll probably look to take some altcoin profits. The next big target after that's about 150K. And the final, like, probably not going much beyond this would be about $215,000. So that's sort of bull market pico top kind of price. But if you want to look at staging yourself out, 100K, 150K, 200K, whether you're selling your Bitcoin at those levels or you're using that as a guide on when to start taking profits on your altcoins, could be a useful rule of thumb for you. Lark, what? I've never heard of Solidius. I did say helium. I did. Screw me. I entered in late March, never saw a profit. Hope everything will be fine. Give me some confirmation bias. You have your confirmation bias. We will be fine. I hope. No, but really, look, as long as you've invested in some halfway decent coins, things are going to end up being okay in the market. I don't know how long it takes for that to be okay. But look at everything that's happened. Look at all the stuff that we have been seeing. Okay. So many positive things coming in for the US economy, which just continues to not go into a recession. Do one or two more here, guys, and we'll finish up. Lark, please talk about Sweat. I know it's getting a lot of attention right now. I don't have a bag. I have considered from time to time, maybe buy a bag, maybe don't buy a bag. I don't know. I never really kind of came to a consensus on doing that. I feel there's other things I might prefer to put my money into. I know everyone's kind of talking up as like the Solana killer. Heard that one before, gotta say. Just like I've heard about the Ethereum killers. And look where all the Ethereum killers are right now. They killed themselves. Anyway, in terms of sway, it is, let's say, feisty competitor level right now in terms of being a Solana killer. TVL's 500 million, number of daily users and total applications and stuff built on chain are all relatively low levels. Now, you might say that as I'm going to get in early. Maybe that's true. Maybe you'll get in early and all that stuff takes off. Or the opposite is true, is it's not going to get enough traction to go crazy. Now, look, to be clear, when the markets take off and there's a crazy, wild season in the market, whenever that may be, everything kind of pumps, right? So whether this is going to outperform dramatically versus other coins, or if it's going to get the staying power to be a major network within the next 5 to 10 years, that's really hard to say from the current perspective. I've seen a lot of coins that have really high transactions or are really technically great, and there's a whole graveyard in crypto filled with those kind of coins. Not saying Sway is going to be one of those, just as an example, right? So far, I'm not sure that it has that magical edge to be the next Solana necessarily. I'm not saying it can't be. I need to look into it more in order to try to decide such a thing, but the direction it's been heading in is positive. You're seeing more people talking about it. You're seeing it getting a little more hype on social media, and people have kind of been talking about it. And you guys ask about it enough too, that maybe there's something there. But it's got a lot of work to catch up to the other big dogs. Not saying it can't, but it's got a lot of work. The X stream lagging behind the YouTube channel. Do you read the X chat? I do. Hi. We do read X chats here as well. So, do you still have a dot bag? Still holding it, man. It's almost at my entry price from 4 years ago. I can't believe it. Anyway. Yeah. Good times. You grow, I grow says, I'm selling all my cryptos. You approach 130K regardless where it goes. I've set my goals. So I'm good. You know what? That's also a great way. That's a great attitude, man, to be honest, because the greed can really get you screwed up in this space. You'll just continue to think it's just going to go up and up and up and up and up and up forever. And, you know, let's say you sell at 130K. What possible upside are you missing out on? Oh, it's going to go to 200K. Yeah, but that's only like another 50%. It's not that crazy, especially if you bought 20K, for example. Great returns. And then you can take your profits, walk away, and just be happy. Imagine that. Just be happy with your profits. Crazy stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.